job. Let's go.
So before the event, it was very interesting. It was a feeling I haven't had in a very long time. It was a certain nerves that I remember I had back in high school before I played a game, and it was more nerves of excitement that I was about to do something that I knew I was going to do, and people didn't think I was going to do, as to where when I played in college, it was more nerves that I thought something was going to go wrong. And when I showed up to Prospect Park, it was more just like, I'm about to do something I've been very over-prepared for and have been ready to do for an extremely long time, and now it's just time to execute and just get 1 mile closer every single mile and get it out of the way. But showing up was very interesting. It was kind of awkward, to be honest. It was the first time I've met a lot of my teammates in person for the first time. My coach Joe, who was my pacer for the whole thing, was the first time I met him. My buddy Dom, I actually met him for the first time the night before. Corey, I met him a couple times, so it was a bunch of people I've only met about 2 to 3 times max. So it was interesting dynamic. It was, you know, it felt like seeing an old friend for the first time.
Things gonna be ugly. It's not gonna run perfectly on all cylinders by any means. The main goal is just getting from here to there. That's it. Besides that, I really just want to thank everyone for being here, walking with me this whole time. It's going to be just as difficult for you guys as it is for me. But I'm just really thankful for you guys. And I said to the guys last night, to think where I was 3 years ago, up until this point, I sat in my room this morning and I was just like, this was not supposed to be me. I was not supposed to be this guy who's doing this, something that's never been done before. But for some reason, when I heard Devin bear crawl 26.2 miles and basically asked someone to break his record, I spoke with total conviction and said, like, this is gonna be me. I'm gonna be that guy. And for that person to do that 2 years ago, totally out of character, for that person to take action and train like I did for this past year, I guess it just makes for the final story for me to do this motherfucker. So let's get it done. I thank you guys for being here.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Now, the first mile was one I won't forget because it was the fastest mile I've probably ever done in a longer crawl setting. I finished it in 27 minutes. The goal was to do 1.8 miles in the first hour, and I think we got about 1.93 in the first hour, which was way above pace, but that's what we wanted. We wanted to stay above pace the whole time. In order to catch Devin's record and beat the 31 miles in under 24 hours, we had to keep about a 1.5 mile an hour pace for the first 10 hours of the event. So getting that first 1.9 miles was extremely crucial in setting us up for success, or even giving us different alternatives later on in the event when things didn't go to plan.
Total time's up top, mileage is down low.
We're fucking moving, huh?
Yeah, we are.
So then miles 2 to 4 were kind of a blur for me. I remember looking through my legs and seeing people show up that I didn't think were going to show up. Getting acquainted to the directions people were giving me, whether it was to crawl left to avoid things in the street or potholes, or allowing people to stop me before I was crossing the street, crosswalks. So we were getting a lot of communication down.
How long is it going for?
31 miles.
What for? Happy mental health.
There you go.
Put that on my podcast. First fucking kettlebell forward.
Left a little.
I think it's pretty interesting. I mean, seeing these people's reactions is pretty cool. Everyone's confused, you know, but he's got this. He's on great pace. Let's see how this goes.
You're a wild man, bro. You're a wild
Yo,
man.
you want to drink?
Eggs and rice. I'm just here with you, big dog. Got a little fucking egg and rice, you know what I mean?
My name's Tyler. What do you think about James doing all this? He's a savage. Me and him live together, so I've been seeing him train for a couple months now. So I mean, I've seen some of the work he's put in. It's insane. So he's gonna do it today, no doubt in my mind. So it'll be electric when he crosses the finish line.
So just keep an eye out for Smith for me. Just pause here for a second. We got time. You don't have to rush.
You just tell me where you want it most. Is this an okay spot for now? Yeah.
That is the best honey I've ever had. Holy shit. Josh, you look like you work here.
Yeah, that's basically it. Like I have found my calling within this event. Some people are there to like rub the massage gun, some guys are there to just hold the tray of sandwiches. Like everyone's gonna make sure we're doing it right.
Thank you. Okay. Yep, thank you.
Definitely gotta take Advil.
Okay.
A little bit right, James.
Miles 5 to 7 were interesting. I started to feel the longevity of the event, and I started to get into a tough mind space of not being focused on the present moment and trying to give my best to that current mile. I started to think about, holy shit, I have almost 25 more miles to go and about 20 hours left. So it was brutal, and it felt like it took forever to get to the Brooklyn Bridge. And then when we did get to the Brooklyn Bridge, that's where things started to go downhill for the first time.
James, try to eat as much as you can, all right?
Come get on the other side.
Really needs to get in as much calories as possible, so eating things that are like easily digestible, simple carbohydrates, honey, sugar, Coke. Obviously not the healthiest thing, but we're trying to get, at this point, we're not worried about health, we're just worried about performance, so just getting in as many calories as you can without like having to eat so much and upsetting your stomach. So just like high, like calorically dense foods like honey, those honey stingers, candy, Coke. That's what he's gonna be going with.
Has anybody been airdropping?
I'm scared of heights, and if you've ever been to the Brooklyn Bridge, it's wood slats or pallets, and they're stacked to go across the bridge, and there's spaces in between each pallet, and there is nothing under the bridge. If you look straight down, you see the water, and it is a far drop. Like I said, I'm scared of heights, so it made me very nauseous. It took me about an hour and 25 minutes to get over the Brooklyn Bridge.
6.8 miles, 4 hours and 24 minutes into this. We are on pace, but we're slowing down a bit. James is hurting, but this is what he's here for. We're on the Brooklyn Bridge. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Along the water. Stay tight to the white line and then go right. Let's
Once I got over it, I rekindled with my team. I was completely delusional. I was out of it. All I remember was people just rushing by me. I couldn't really process my thoughts. I felt nauseous. I felt sick. My muscles were tired. And everybody was just talking to me, trying to get me to eat something and asking how I was feeling. But it took us about 15 minutes there to just retape my hands, change my clothes. And
So like normally what we do is he'll cut like the inside of like a Nike sole. So like just the inside insert, and he'll cut it. What we did this time is we took like Dr. Scholl's, like the rubber, the gel ones, and we cut those into multiple pieces to put where he normally puts it, but we put an extra layer. And so I think what's happening right now is the extra layer of the Dr. Scholl's with the tape is kind of cutting off the circulation in his fingers. Retaping, and then we'll just go with the one layer and just see how that goes.
How would you describe James?
Savage. That's how I describe him.
I would say he is one of the most dedicated people I've ever met in my life.
So I threw up about 17 times, and throwing up actually made me feel much better. I couldn't really digest anything. I couldn't think about eating anything. So getting everything out of my system, you think it wouldn't help me, but it actually helped me feel a little better and actually helped me get some good nutrition down in the miles to come.
That's nice.
That's 100% Egyptian cotton, bro. 1,000 threads, bro. 1,000 threads.
It's about 2 hours there where I kind of picked up pace and was kind of slow and fast in each given mile, so miles 8 and 9.
Let's go! Yes, sir.
Can I move over to the right? Alright, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Oh my God, you're totally fine.
Oh my God.
6 hours, 42 minutes, 9:86. We're good if we keep going in this pace.
I've been throwing up. I've thrown about 20 times already. I've been like on purpose trying to throw up. Helps you feel way better.
We don't need the space of the car.
And then that brought us to about the river, or the Lower East Side River, which we traveled up for about 2 miles, and that's when I kicked things into gear. I laid down, my whole team was around me. I ate a good amount of food. I ate glazed donuts, pretzels, a bunch of candy, protein shake. So I consumed a good amount of calories. At that point, I probably burned about 4,000 calories. So maybe about 1,000 calories. I was still behind on calories.
I'm only going to go one headphone though, I think, to start.
Good approach.
Good approach.
Definitely a powerful approach.
More style, your frequency, all
I
that
like
stuff.
that. I like that.
All right, well, let's see what he thinks after he goes a little more. Maybe it gets better.
At least for a little while during the night. It's hard to get warm again.
Push deeper again. Half marathon.
At mile 13, I laid there and I felt like I had no energy. This was like the second hardest mile compared to mile 7. And I said to my coach, I said, we can't take any more breaks longer than 5 minutes. If I stop for longer than 5 minutes, I'm going to start shivering. And it was extremely difficult to get warm again. In order to crawl enough in one chunk to get sweating and warm enough, my body was already past the point of its limit. I couldn't crawl probably more than 10 feet at a time. So I just kept biting chunks. And then the infamous smoothie came in. My stepdad bought me a smoothie from a concession stand, and it turned my nutrition around. I think it honestly lit a fire in me, as well as hearing that Devin LeVake, so the guy who bear crawled the marathon in 2020, shouted me out on Instagram for what I was doing. And between those two things, it kind of gave me a new life and a new perspective on the crawl. And I just got a bolt of energy and took advantage of it. So from miles really 13 to 26.2, it was all gas, no brakes. We flew through the night. It started raining, it didn't matter, we didn't slow down.
Whatever other section of the city we were in when it was tough. I don't fucking know. You're in the single digit countdown to 31.
Yeah. What you think? Splits. It's just clam chowder. Yeah, just clam chowder. Just clam chowder. Well,
15 hours and 24 minutes.
I added the 2,500. I've known him since kindergarten, so I thought he was gonna be playing baseball, but instead he's crawling on fucking New York floor. So this kid doesn't, he doesn't cease to amaze me, man. He's got a lot of potential with anything he does. So, whatever he does, he's gonna do it to the fullest.
Nah, you cannot just wake up and do something like this. I know that he's been training for damn near a year, matter of fact. And with this, and you guys supporting him, it really means a lot.
Who has James's backpack?
Top pocket of that bag that Mike has.
There you go. This is John Glazed on his chapstick, bro. All right, it's 24.
Crazy, bro.
24.
There's a little bit of the Red Bull if you want any of that. Or what? Red Bull. Red Bull.
The
Red Bull.
What?
Why are you saying it like that?
Red Bull? Why are you saying it like that?
Red Bull. I got the Red Bull.
Just like,
dude, we just
putting
started.
stuff in front of James's face, like, drink this,
Yo,
drink
yo,
this,
you need
eat
this.
that. Like, no questions, and then you put this in front of his face, and he's like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, I mean, it smells like a Four Loko.
Oh no, I thought it was piss.
It looks like
This is mad comfy.
good neighbors curb their dogs.
Where are you at on it?
25 miles. I got I'm about 18 hours in right now, so I got 2 hours and 48 minutes to do 1.2 miles, so I'm sitting good.
You already know, push through. I just wanted to let you know that I was here for you the minute.
That's it. Let's go!
The physical part came from miles 26.2 to mile 31. My team took about a 40-minute break, which was probably the worst thing that we could do. I took my shoes and socks off. I took my gloves off.
Felt pretty awkward.
I think this is insane, but I'm super proud of him. I didn't even walk this entire thing with him, and I had to take a break, so I can only imagine how he feels.
What's one word to describe James?
He is so disciplined and determined. That would be it. Those are 2 words.
Can't take them off again because I can't feel my pinky.
When I went to start again, it was probably the downfall of the race.
Can't feel my fingers.
That's good.
I can feel everything else though, my knee, my
At that point, it was just putting one foot in front of the other and just relying on my team to carry me
10 more
through.
streets, and then we turn left to Central Park.
10 more?
Come on, you got it.
You got this, you got this.
Mile 28 felt like it took 3 days, and it broke me mentally. The moment that I remember was talking to my buddy, and he said that all these miles are unexplored. You have to appreciate every single mile from 26.2 to 31.07 because nobody has ever felt these and nobody may ever feel them again, like, and you're living them. You put all this effort into getting to this point, and I found a new level of resilience during those miles. Once we were at about mile 29, all my teammates jumped in and started to crawl with me, which at the time I hated because they were pushing my pace a little bit. They were fresh. And I was so beat up that I was moving slow, so I kind of felt like I had to keep up with them. And it was miserable for me. I felt sick, but they got me that finish line. If they might not have jumped in, I don't know if I would have got it in under 24 hours.
Let's go, boys. Come on, guys.
You ready?
There you go, Mom.
Yeah, Jen.
Woo!
We're good. First one. Does bagel sound good, James? Rice Krispie treat? I think we gotta pick something. Get a moment. You're sleep deprived. I don't think you really want to do this any longer. I think we get that. I think that's been made clear. No, when you were crawling by somebody who said it's for mental health, he said, I hope it works. James, Joe Laviola said the fact that he is still smiling and laughing after 21 21 hours and 28 miles is unbelievable. Let's go, kid. You're almost there. Come on, James. Hey, Ryan.
Central Park was tough. It was very hilly, crawling downstairs, basically walking in a handstand position after you just bear crawl 30 miles is hell. But I didn't want to cheat anything. I wasn't going to go down the stairs sideways or backwards, or I was going down the stairs forwards.
Here, wrap the shirt on your one hand. Keep that shit fucking warm. Yeah. I'm 40 on it, so we got
Everyone's just like taking
Just
off.
don't
all
touch
their
your eye.
Yeah, he needs 0.95. 0.95 miles.
Come on, man. We're here.
Come on.
Over here, buddy.
0.95 miles, but he's not going to be happy about that. He's hurting. He's ready for it to be done.
During that last mile, crawled for as long as I possibly could. I got super frustrated. I know a lot of athletes can relate to this when their back's against the wall and they feel like they're about to lose. They could kick it into another gear. At least I thought I kicked it into another gear. Crawled as far as I could, stood up, and looked at my buddy who was holding the phone, and I said, "How far was that?" And he said, "You went 0.03 miles."
So what does that mean?
And I almost lost it.
0.88 left, right? Okay. Let's crawl what you think is a 10th, and we'll compare it. Doesn't matter. We got to do it until this says, right?
Finish the fucking job. Let's go. Finish it.
No fucking way.
I agree with you, but what else do we do? We're not stopping until that hits 31.07.
Well, then someone go fucking find where 31.07 is. It's probably gonna be fucking Kingdom Come, because it ain't fucking real. Let's go.
I never doubted him for a second when I knew you'd do this shit. Let's go, Jay! Woo! I knew you'd do this shit, bro.
I raised over $10,000 for athlete mental health, and I became somebody I never thought I could have been. And this is just the beginning of what I do in the athlete mental health space, in the men's mental health space. These feats, there will be more to come. There's more lives to be changed, and there's more limits to be broken in many unique ways, and I'm just super thankful for everybody. My team was absolutely unbelievable. I could not have done it without them. If I was out there alone for 31 miles, I don't know if I would have done it. From people carrying a 100-pound bag of food to changing my gloves, changing my clothes, massaging me, you know, taking off their warm layers to put them on me so they were cold the rest of the night, but at least I was warm. So I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, everyone that had a part of it. You know who you are. There's more to come.
Fuck, let's get these fucking gloves off.
Give this man whatever he needs. Sure, bro? Yeah. What else you need?
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna make it out of that last mile. I really didn't.
Too late. It's 1 mile. It doesn't even look like that impressive a workout. Just crawl. was like, it's not over. We started in Brooklyn. I'm so happy I never have to do this shit again.
Yeah.
Thank God that's done. That last mile, I swear someone was lying. Strava was like, don't let this kid do it. But I'm just very proud of myself. It's been a long ass journey. 3 years to get to this point. I've been bear crawling for 16 months. It's almost 2 years just to do this. So. It hasn't hit me yet, but it will very soon. Probably when I'm alone.